This video is a tutorial for using Google Drive. Google Drive is a storage resource where students can store their assignments, they can store presentations, they can store things that they're working on independently. So it's very important to understand how to use Google Drive and how to access Google Drive. First off, you always want to be sure that you're logging in to your apps through ClassLink. I've showed you how to do that before. It's your app page, okay? And one of those apps is Google Drive. I'm going to log into my apps page. And show you Google Drive. So there was a couple of places you could access it. So here there's a folder for Google Apps, and then there's Google Drive there. And what I did on mine is I added it to my favorites. It says remove because it's always already added there, but yours would say add. And so see how now here at the bottom, I have that app easily available and I don't have to search for everything. All right. So you click that and it takes you to your Google Drive. This is my drive. So again, it's going to look a lot different from yours, but you get an idea of what it'll look like. So that is how you access Google Drive. Next, the navigation bar. So this is what you call the navigation bar. This is going to be how you navigate through the different drives within your drive. So there's my drive, there's a shared drive, and there's a shared with me drive. The new button is if you're going to create a new document, and we'll talk about those more in depth later. And then these are the three main ones that you're going to be using for sure. Let's first talk about my drive. So your drive is your own personal drive. These are the things that you own that only you have access to. So you see a bunch of my folders here. These are things that I've created and I only have access to unless I've given someone access, but these are things that I created myself, okay? So things that are your assignments, things that are just for you, things that you create will go in your drive and will only be able to be accessed by you. Next is the shared drive. These are documents that are shared in a group or with the class. So like, for example, a group assignments. So you might not have a shared drive yet. I do because you can see that I share with fifth grade teachers. I share with Smith, right? So yours will look different. You might not even have that button yet, but just know that eventually if we create a shared drive for our class, that's where you'll house those documents. These do not belong to you, they belong to the group. Next, we have shared with me. These documents do not belong to you, but they have been shared with you. So for example, if you're working on something with a classmate, then you're working on it together. So for example, these shared with me, these are things that have been specifically shared with me. I don't own them, but they are things that have been shared with me for me to use, okay? And so that is what you would use that for. Just remember the importance of your navigation bar, and those are the three different types of documents. In the Zoom, I'm going to teach you how to organize, but going back to mine, you saw in my drive how I have all my folders. You're going to have a folder just for math, a folder just for reading, and a folder just for science. It'll be labeled like this, and then you can store everything here. So instead of having to, find all these, have all these things to look through, you can look specifically in math, reading / social studies or science. And then how do you search? Well, I can give you titles of assignments and then you can search them. So for example, if I wanted to put, I did my interactive syllabus. this, if I can spell. And so now it easily pops up for me, okay? So that only works if you have the title. As long as it's titled, that's how you can easily search a document rather, again, than having to go through all of these things and find it. It'll easily pop up for you. How to share. Again, you might need to share with someone, whether it would be me, maybe it's something that you did, but you want to share it with me so I can look at it, or maybe you and a partner are going to work on a document together, you'll need to share it with them. So to share, you click the share button up at the upper right-hand corner, and then you put the name. So I could put anybody's name, and their name will pop up, and then you just you say done, and it sends them a message that they got that document. Then again, if you go back to your share it with me, the document will show up. And again, if you're having a hard trouble finding it there, you can ask the partner or the person who shared it with you, hey, what was the name of that? And then look it up, and then that will come up for you. And then last and very important is you might need to have a document copied to you. So for example, I create something, but I want you to have access to it. I want you to own it because it's going to be your assignment. You will need to copy it. So you're going to get something from me that's going to look like this, and you're going to have to make a copy. So here, see how it says make a copy? You're going to click that blue button. And it might take a minute, but it is making a copy to your drive. And I can change the name. So you might want to just keep that name and then just, change it. But for this purpose, I'm going to change it to Google Drive Tutorial. And then this blue circle tells me that it's thinking. All right, and then I want to be sure where I put it. So I can click the little file, and then I can tell where to put it. So for you, instead of these, it would show math, reading, and science. So say this was a math assignment. Well, I'm going to put it in math. I would click here and then say move here, and it's going to go to that math folder. This is going to happen a lot, so I need you to get very familiar with making copies because that's how you're going to get certain assignments pushed to you. You can copy anything. So maybe a friend makes a presentation and you want to copy it for future use. That's how you would make the copy. You can also go to File, Make Copy. You can choose just to copy a couple of slides or the entire presentation. And again, it's going to say, do you want to change the name? Where do you want to put it? Okay, so again, mine's going to look different, but yours, you would say My Drive, and then tell what specific folder you want it to go to. Say I want it to go to Canvas, and then select, okay, and then it moves it there. So those are the main features for Google Drive. You can watch this as much as needed. We will be practicing this on the first day of school, and you can refer to this at any time.